Hello and welcome to another live letter breakdown with me, Meoni. Live letter from the producer part XLI went live earlier today, and with it a bunch of new information for 4.2, including a release date which will be January 30th. Let's take a brief look at what got announced. With thanks to the Reddit community and translation done by Aluna Minori over at the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit and Discord. Go and support those guys, they're incredibly helpful for posting all of this information. At the start of the broadcast, we got a quick recap on the previous live letters information. If you want information on that, please check out my previous live letter video that goes into that detail. So, new stuff. Firstly, we got a section looking at two of the new mounts, the Kamoi Wolf mount, rewarded from the Jade Stoa primal battle, and the Deathclaw mount, which carries you around in its grasp. It's not certain, but it's thought that it was mentioned it could be purchased for achievement points, but the translation was unclear at this time, so we're waiting for citation on that. After that, Yoshi P took us into the Jade Stoa itself to look at Bayako, the boss within, which looks amazing and makes pretty short work of his Lalafell character, looking absolutely amazing with some of its combat here and the cutscene introducing it. Shortly after that, they show the new cinematic trailer, which I'll do a separate video breakdown on due to its sheer length and incredible hype. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there that are spoilerific, and we want to talk about at extended length, and that'll have to be a separate video. Next, they look at the battle system, and I'm not going to go into this too much, but the things that were mentioned include paladin nerfs, warrior adjustments regarding combo potency, dark knight damage buffs, and machinist buffs, including apparently hypercharge, will be decreased by 1%, but others will be increased. Black mage is apparently getting some buffs. Apparently Fire 4 will have potency buffs, Thunder proc and Fire 3 proc will have their proc timing increased by 6 seconds. Doing so to facilitate movement. Ethereal manipulations cooldown will increase by 10 seconds to a 20-second CD. There are other adjustments mentioned, but the patch notes will be coming out on the 29th of January, and we'll have more details at that time. So, moving on to the next section, elemental properties. So this section is literally to announce that they are removing materia and stats on gear and items, including consumables that would usually have an increase to elemental resistances or damage. So items simply won't have them listed, and things like resistance materia will be simply removed from the game. Next, they looked at housing, which is a hot topic. Additional housing plots will be added to all zones, with wards 13 to 18, that's 6 new wards, being added to the Mist, Lavender Beds, the Goblet, and Shirogane. Each ward will have a subdivision, of course, and the plots are going to be added 1 week after the release of 4.2, so you don't have to stress about that upon release. Additionally, the before-mentioned changes to plot purchasing entails that plots designated to 3 companies will be limited for purchase to 3 companies with at least 4 members, and a controversial decision in that individuals will be restricted from purchasing housing completely for personal use for a limited time during the patch's entry, and that players will only be allowed to own 1 private and 1 free company house per service account. So probably no more alt characters owning housing, which is a pretty welcome change in my opinion. They say that following the release of 4.2, they will evaluate the housing market and decide when to remove a restriction on personal housing, but is subject to how the situation will pan out. Another new addition is to the restrictions on plot resale. Plots relinquished by owners are then put on a temporary cooldown, much like other MMOs, for purchase for a limited time. This is to prevent people selling housing, which they stress is still against the terms of service and frowned upon. However, during this period, plots will still be available for relocation. If you were looking for Eureka news, I'm afraid that it's been delayed. Eureka has been deliberately postponed until 4.25. However, they said that Eureka will be playable from 4 to 8 players, and you can 1v1 monsters. Eureka is implied to have a level down scaling system, but they may scrap that idea. It seems it's very much still in the air and on pretty much the drawing board, but sounds like something different and none of the before guessed ideas by the community. I'm guessing it's pretty much instanced by the judge of, 4 to 8 players. I guess we'll have to just wait a bit longer to see and find out. Next, we jump into the Omega Sigma Scape section, the new raid. Apparently both normal mode and savage mode will be available on the same day, which is to balance the sales of new crafted gear, which would surely suffer if they released them on separate days apparently. So Sigma Scape's first boss is Phantom Train. I want to say Doom Train, but it is translated as Phantom Train or Ghost Train on the Reddit here, so I'll refrain from saying that. Essentially, you are ported to this open carriage at the end of a train, and there's a ghost train about to ram you to death from behind. The fight looks absolutely amazing and just gives me a huge Final Fantasy VI vibe, which you get more of if you watch the trailer. I can't wait to do that breakdown. Again, Yoshida's character gets killed pretty quickly by these phantom purple balls the boss hurls at him on the pull. It looks pretty cool. Can't wait to get in and try this one. It looks really cool. They then very briefly show off the second boss area, but not the boss itself, which involves paintings around the room and a new action button to apply paint beneath your character. The trailer itself that was shown gives you the impression the boss is a ghost that comes alive through these paintings, and it's a cool gimmick, and I can't wait to see more. Next is the Bard Perform update and overhaul section, including the overhaul we looked at in the previous 4.2 video, along with the customizable on-screen keyboard for both gamepad and PC keyboard. The Perform action is getting new sounds, including a steel guitar, piano and other string sound in addition to your harp. They also show off the ability to now turn down or mute other players' instruments played as a separate volume switch in the sound options menu, and also to turn down other spell effects. Next up is the Fashion Report minigame added to the Gold Saucer in 4.2. This is essentially a fashion contest that runs once per week, and for the Japanese it will be on a Friday reset. The NPC there on the right in the crow mask will list a specific theme, and it's up to you to make that theme to the best of your ability with Glamour. Completing the theme will grant you 10,000 MGP as a base reward. If you reach over a score of 80 on his likeness, however, you will get 10,000 and then a bonus depending on how much further you push that meter upwards. They stress that there is no set answer, so they encourage your creativity and to use the new Glamour commode system and plate system to make advantage of this fun little minigame. You will have 4 attempts at this game, and after that your score will be your highest for the week, and you cannot try again. They show off the various menus, including the theme section. Yoshi got a low score of 47 when he tried it, and still got his 10,000 MGP, but it shows on this screenshot that he failed on certain parts to consider the theme, including a ring he left on that depreciated his score, for example. Pretty cool stuff all in all. They then took some time to show the new raid tier gear set for certain classes. The Dark Knight, the Dragoon, the Red Mage, Paladin, Ninja, Black Mage, and the rest are yet to be revealed. They then show a new Glamour set, this cardigan and scarf with jean shorts and boots. No details of where this will be obtained just yet, but it is listed as a new Glamour set they wanted to tease today. On the theme of sharing item designs, they show off the winners of the furniture contest that you might remember ran a while back, that was done worldwide. There will be an item from each region's winners going into the game. The EU winner is this cool looking outdoor hedge partition, so you can make your own hedge mazes and the like. The North American winner is this bomb stove, which is a bomb-themed stove for your house. And the Japanese winner is this lamp, which projects shadows of various things in the room when you turn it on, including a chocobo and rising logo. They also show off this carbuncle bathtub that is also being added into the game, with 4 carbuncles supporting the 4 corners of this stylish white bath that would really suit a stylish house design. Also, this image of various new furniture got shown that's being added, which is absolutely impossible to really discern from this image, but the emphasis is on more Eastern designs, including this shot, which shows these awesome futon beds, which definitely add more Oriental design to your house, and they're not stopping there. There's going to be a lot more of this stuff, so I can't wait to see what they add. Next, and pretty much finally in the live letter, they look at the Glamour system updates. This is in regard to the new plate and commode system. The details from this stream include that Mirage plates will only display items you place in the Mirage dresser found in rooms. You also have the option to select items stored in your armoire, so if you're worried about only 200 slots, they are both planning to increase that in future patches, but also in the meantime you can use your armoire as extra space. You have 10 Glamour slots plates, you can save and simply press the button to apply the glamour whenever you want, with no restrictions on location apparently to apply these plates, other than you not being in combat or an instance, of course. Items are not consumed in the process of adding them to a plate, obviously, and apparently they are working on a way to attach plates to a different job and save it to your gear set options, but that won't be in 4.2 as they are working on it right now. In addition, the confirmation was given, as if you needed it, that this glamour system is an addition to the old one and does not replace it. It is just another way of glamouring items that can be used in conjunction with the old method. Chocobo saddlebags were also shown, which is the new 70 slot inventory you can access from your summoned chocobo. They show you can view this inventory at any time, including whilst looking at your retainer from a new toggle inventory button, but you will have to be in a place where you can summon the chocobo to actually remove or add items from its saddlebag. They also mention here that a new 9th retainer you can purchase will be added to the game, but they don't give any confirmed date on that at this time. They mop up the session by mentioning that submarine voyages will be like the airship ones, and they will be bringing back rare mounts and pets sometimes, and other items only obtainable from these voyages. And that pretty much wraps up the live letter in its entirety. It's a fairly lengthy live stream, but in reality a lot of the information is just iteration on what we'd already known from the last one and previous dev blogs. But there are some nice quality of life changes coming in this patch, and you cannot deny that the PvE content specifically looks amazing. I will have a trailer breakdown up at some point soon. Thank you kindly for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking it below and checking out the channel for more daily Final Fantasy XIV content, and I'll see you all next time.